Hello, what shall we do today? If you want to visit your treehouse, choose this blue balloon. Of course, if this is your first time here with us, or if you want to find a new treehouse, you can grab onto the red balloon. I do hope you find your name here. When you do, here we go floating anywhere we please, holding you tight as I can. You're safe as a honeypot, you always will be, and I'll be right there when we land. You're snuggly, wuggly, snug as a buggly. You're snuggly safe in my hands. Why, hello again. Shall we do a bit more exploring? Wherever our wander takes us, we shall have this special red honeypot. Anytime you would like to know a bit more about what to do, just grab a hold of this special pot. Then I shall tell you all the wonderful things we can do. There are several paths we may take, each as good as the next, none better than the other, since any way one goes with a friend is a good way. Just choose a path, and off we'll go. If you're going in, might I come too, in case any stray honey's been left laying about? Jack-in-the-Box. Cuckoo clock.
Don't know what time it is.
Do-you. Magnifying glass. Oh, the magnifying glass makes things look bigger. Accordion. Those tracks are all in the shape of the letter H. They must have been made by a heffalump. Oh my, a bubble in the shape of a triangle. Rocking chair. Those are circles. Goodness, a bubble in the shape of a square. Xylophone. Oh, hello. Aerial rug. There are lions and roaring tigers and enormous camels and things. There are buffalo bisons and a great big bear with wings. There's a sort of a tiny potamus and a tiny rhinoceros too. But I gave buns to the elephant when I went down to the zoo. Book. There are lions and roaring tigers. There are badgers and bidgers and bodgers and a superintendent's house. There are masses of goats and a polar and different kinds of mouse. And I think there's a sort of something which is called a wallaboo. But I gave buns to the elephant when I went down to the zoo. If you try to talk to the bison, he never quite understands. You can't shake hands with a Mingo. He doesn't like shaking hands. And lions and roaring tigers hate saying, "How do you do?" But I give buns to the elephant when I go down to the zoo. I often wish I were a king, and then I could do anything. If only I were king of Spain, I'd take my hat off in the rain. If only I were king of France, I wouldn't brush my hair for aunts. I think if I were king of Greece, I'd push things off the mantelpiece. If I were king of Norway, I'd ask an elephant to say. If I were king of Babylon, I'd leave my button gloves undone. If I were king of Timbuktu, I'd think of lovely things to do. If I were king of anything, I'd tell the soldiers, "I'm the king." James Morrison, Weatherby George Dupree, took great care of his mother, though he was only 3. James said to his mother, "Mother," he said he, "you must never go down to the end of the town if you don't go down with me." James Morrison's mother put on a golden gown. James Morrison's mother drove to the end of the town. James Morrison's mother said to herself, said she, "I can get right down to the end of the town and be back in time for tea." King John put up a notice. "Lost or stolen or strayed. James Morrison's mother seems to have been mislaid. Last seen wandering vaguely, quite of her own accord. She tried to get down to the end of the town. 40 shillings reward." James Morrison, commonly known as Jim, told his other relations not to go blaming him. James said to his mother, "Mother," he said he, "you must never go down to the end of the town without consulting me." James Morrison's mother hasn't been heard of since. King John said he was sorry, so did the Queen and Prince. King John, somebody told me, said to a man he knew, "If people go down to the end of the town, well, what can anyone do?" J.J.M.M.W.G. Dupee took great CO his M, though he was only 3. J.J. said to his M, he said he, "You must never go down to the end of the town if you don't go down with me." Book. Where am I going? I don't quite know. Down to the stream where the kingcups grow, up on the hill where the pine trees blow. Anywhere, I don't know. Where am I going? The clouds sail by, little ones, baby ones, over the sky. Where am I going? The shadows pass, little ones, baby ones, over the grass. If you were a cloud and sailed up there, you'd sail on water as blue as air, and you'd see me here in the fields and say, "Doesn't the sky look green today?" Where am I going? The high rooks call. It's awful fun to be born at all. Where am I going? The ringdoves coo. We do have beautiful things to do. If you were a bird and lived on high, you'd lean on the wind when the wind came by. You'd say to the wind when it took you away, "That's where I wanted to go today." Where am I going? I don't quite know. What does it matter where people go? Down to the wood where the bluebells grow. Anywhere, I don't know. A lion has a tail, and a very fine tail, and so has an elephant, and so has a whale, and so has a crocodile, and so has a quail. They've all got tails but me. If I had sixpence, I would buy one. I'd say to the shopman, let me try one. I'd say to the elephant, this is my one. They'd all come round to see. Then I'd say to the lion, why, you've got a tail. And so has the elephant, and so has the whale. And look, there's a crocodile, he's got a tail. You've all got tails, like me. No one can tell me, nobody knows, where the wind comes from, where the wind goes. It's flying from somewhere, as fast as it can. I couldn't keep up with it, not if I ran. But if I stopped holding the string of my kite, it would blow with the wind for a day and a night. And then, when I found it, wherever it blew, I should know that the wind had been going there too. So then I could tell them where the wind goes, but where the wind comes from, nobody knows. Halfway down the stairs is a stair where I sit. There isn't any other stair quite like it. I'm not at the bottom, I'm not at the top, so this is the stair where I always stop. Halfway up the stairs isn't up and isn't down. It isn't in the nursery, it isn't in the town, and all sorts of funny thoughts run round my head. It isn't really anywhere, it's somewhere else instead. Ernest was an elephant, a great big fellow. Leonard was a lion with a 6-foot tail. George was a goat, and his beard was yellow, and James was a very small snail. Leonard had a stall, and a great big strong one. Ernest had a manger, and its walls were thick. George found a pen, but I think it was the wrong one, and James sat down on a brick. Ernest started trumpeting and cracked his manger. Leonard started roaring and shivered his stall. James gave the huffle of a snail in danger, and nobody heard him at all. Ernest started trumpeting and raised such a rumpus. Leonard started roaring and trying to kick. James went a journey with the goat's new compass, and he reached the end of his brick. Ernest was an elephant, and very well-intentioned. Leonard was a lion with a brave new tail. George was a goat, as I think I have mentioned, but James was only a snail. These are my 2 drops of rain, waiting on the window pane. I am waiting here to see which the winning one will be. Both of them have different names. One is John and one is James. All the best and all the worst comes from which of them is first. James has just begun to ooze. He's the one I want to lose. John is waiting to begin. He's the one I want to win. James is going slowly on. Something sort of sticks to John. John is moving off at last. James is going pretty fast. John is rushing down the pane. James is going slow again. James has met a sort of smear. John is getting very near. Is he going fast enough? James has found a piece of fluff. John has hurried quickly by. James was talking to a fly. John is there, and John has won. Look, I told you, here's the sun. Now, click her eyes. The balloon that is a greenish sort of shade of green. Now, click her eyes. The balloon that is a greenish sort of shade of green. Now, click her eyes. The balloon that is a greenish sort of shade of green. area rug. If we're done in here, I suppose we'll be going out there. Noisemaker. Alphabet blocks. Alphabet blocks. Boomerang. Puppet. Top. Kite. Kite. Drum. Alphabet blocks. Drum. This, I'm certainly sad to say, means you'll be leaving our 100-acre wood for a while. If you really must go, click on the green balloon. Are you most certainly certain you must go? If you are, then pick the yellow balloon. But if you'd like to explore just a little bit more, choose the purple balloon. I shall simply say a simple good day, for when you're of a mind to play again, the 100-acre wood will always be here, and will always be waiting just for you.